Hi everyone! Today we, Asta and I, are going to cover today's topic: comparative, superlative, and equality in this flipped grammar teaching video. Before we start, I hope you are all okay. We are together again in another topic. Let's start.
Let's look at some scaled corpus examples. The answer is shorter than the question. You are nicer than your brother. Our future generations are surely more intelligent than us. We use the comparative form here. This is the shortest story in the book. The nicest thing about them were their names. They are probably the most intelligent birds in the world. We use the superlative form in those sentences. Some served as short as 3 months. Not everyone is as nice as I am. We use the equality, and while creating these sentences, we use the as form.
Let's start with comparative. How and when do we use comparative adjectives? In our daily lives, we use comparative adjectives when we want to compare two people, animals, or things. For instance, when we try to decide who is taller, who is shorter, and so on. And to compare people, animals, or things, we need to use adjectives such as strong, beautiful, fast, good, and so on. Here we have the structure of comparative sentences. As usual, we start with the subject, Jack. Then the verb comes, is, and it is followed by the adjective tall with er suffix, which is taller. Finally, we add then and add the object. From this sentence, we understand that while Jack is taller, John is not that taller. Let's take a look at the two rules of comparative sentences. In the first example, we have the one-syllable adjective old. As it is a one-syllable adjective, we add the suffix er to it. So, old becomes older. In the second example, however, we have the word more instead of the suffix er, because the adjective comfortable has more syllable than one. Also, we have a note at the bottom of the page, which says if a word ends with the letter E, we just add the letter R, such as large and wise. We don't need to add an extra letter E, we just add the letter R.
Superlative. We use superlative to compare one person or thing with more than one person or a thing in the same group. For example, which box is the biggest, or which room is the largest. Superlative adjectives show us how superior a person, animal, or a thing. Be careful. Superiority may mean negativity too. For example, the most infamous or the most hideous. The structure of superlative sentences. We use this order to create the sentences: subject, verb, article the, adjective, and object. Let's give an example. Jake is the tallest boy in the class. But please do not forget to use the article the before adjectives. There are two rules we must obey while creating superlative sentences. One-syllable adjectives we add the est after the adjective. For example, Jake is the tallest boy in our class. We use the article the and we added est at the end of the adjective. The second rule is two or more syllable adjectives. We use most. For example, she was the most beautiful girl in the party.
Here in this slide, we have an important information. We have covered many regular adjectives so far, but we have also some irregular adjectives. For instance, we have good. It becomes better and the best when we want to use it in comparative or superlative form.
As. We use as plus adjective plus as to show that two things are the same or they are equal. For example, as big as or as heavy as. Let's look at the structure of comparison of equality sentences. Subject plus verb plus as adjective as plus object. We use this form to create the sentences. For example, Jack is as tall as John. From this sentence, we understand that Jack and John are the same height. My bag is as heavy as yours. This couch is as comfortable as my old couch.
After finishing the comparison of equality sentences, in this slide we have 3 supplemental videos. If you want to revise or learn more about the topics we have covered, just scan the QR codes. Let's summarize today's class. We have learned how to compare things with comparative. Then, with superlative, we have learned how to compare one thing with more than one thing in the same group. Finally, we have learned how to show two things are the same with the comparison of equality. And that's all. Thank you all for participating. See you in another video. Bye.